So question number 3 is all about identifying the requirements for the actual task. So they give you this section from the client brief, which has been given to given by Progressive Museums. So it says a Life in Roman project is a travelling exhibit that will visit primary schools using a lorry and a bus. At each school, the lorry and bus will be set up with big banners outside the doors, welcome the school children in. The exhibit will include mannequins and staff dressed in a range of museum costumes. Inside the back of the lorry, there'll be 2 rooms. So you've got a Roman villa and you've got Roman barracks. The bus will contain 2 floors with interactive presentations and exhibits. So you've got a top floor, which will show the presentation, and the bottom floor, which will have video and a presentation about life in Rome. The exhibit needs to start visiting schools in October, so it's a key date we need to keep in mind, but needs to be tested before it starts visiting the schools, which will take a month. So therefore we know that the testing needs to take part in September. Each floor of the bus or lorry will take 2 months to develop, so another key time issue to keep in mind. We'll only allocate a small team of people to develop the exhibit, so each of the floors and rooms must be completed before the next one can be started. So the first question says, from the client brief, identify 2 design requirements. So there was lots of bits of information in there. So here we've got, there's going to be 2 rooms, so we can say 2 rooms. So straight away that would give us a mark because we've got 2 rooms here. We've also got that it's a stone coloured room here, so that's another design requirement, stone coloured room. So as you can see, it's fairly easy to get 2 marks in this question just by looking at the design requirements from the actual scenario. You could also talk about plates of food would be acceptable. You could do sounds of talking and music, wooden style building. You could say Roman barracks, Roman villa, sounds and smells of battle. You could mention that there is a two floors as well, so that's a good answer there as well. So we've got 2 floors as well. That's enough to get you 2 marks as well. We've got big banners outside as well. They're acceptable answers. So it really is lots of easy, quick marks there. So if we said 2 rooms, that's good enough. Stone coloured room, good enough for 2 marks. So nice, quick and easy to get 2 marks on that question. Then the second part says, from the client brief, identify 1 time restriction placed on the production. So we knew here that it says 2 months to develop each floor, okay, or each room, should we say. So if I put 2 months, that's not good enough, so that wouldn't get us the mark because it's too vague. We have to say 2 months for each room. That's enough to get us 2 marks, okay, a mark, sorry. Or we could say 8 months. Once again, if I just put 8 months, that's too vague, but we have to say for all the production before testing. Okay, we also mentioned here that it's visiting schools in October, so we can just say ready to visit schools in October. That's enough for a mark as well. We could say ready for testing. Ready for testing in September, because it's 1 month before it's actually going out. Or we could say each room must be completed before the next one is started. Okay, so once again, you can see it's quite easy just by making sure you read the scenario, pick out the key bits of information that you can get a mark. So 2 months for each room would give you a mark. 8 months for all the production would also give you a mark. Visit schools, ready to visit schools in October, a mark. Ready for testing in September would be a mark. Each room must be completed before the next one is started. So once again, nice, quick, easy marks. Obviously you only need to provide one of those answers, but I've given you lots of different potential answers that you could pick out from that. So I hope that's been useful. Now if we move on to the next bit, so it says using the information provided in the client brief, create a work plan for the production of the interactive presentation, add the relevant information in the chart. So one of our tasks could be, so we saw in the scenario that it talked about the whole project is going to take 9 months to do. So from the start to being ready to visit schools in October. So here we can say museum project, and then what we can do then is we can fill these boxes in. So if we fill from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, so we can stop there, and then our next one we could have, if we just actually, so the next one could be the Roman villa. So we know that the Roman villa is going to take 2 months to build, so we can do 2 months there. And then our next one is we've got the Roman barracks, and then if you remember from the scenario at the top, it mentioned that they can only do one at a time. So the first one must finish, the Roman villa must finish before we do the barracks. So they go filled in there. And then we got the top floor as well, so we can put the top floor, and once again that can't start till the next one is finished, so we do that one. And then our next one is we've got the bottom floor, so once again these can't start until the top floor is finished, so we can colour those in as well. And then finally we had some testing as well, so testing, we'll try and get that in. So we're testing, and it must be 1 month before it's ready. So here we go, we can just put testing into September, and then we get that. Okay, so we should have 6 items, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yep, so all we get here, so we'd get 1 mark for this part, 1 mark for this part, 1 mark for this, 1 mark for that, 1 mark for that, and 1 mark for that. And then we get 1 mark for having all elements included with no overlapping. Okay, so overall 7 marks, nice quick and easy thing. So once again, it's one of those questions where all you're really doing is making sure that you pick out the key bits of information from the actual scenario that they've given you. So make sure you take your time to read through the scenario, pick out the key bits of information, which is all provided there. It mentions about the time it takes to do each floor, how long it takes to do each room, how long it will be for the whole project. Talks about 1 month for testing before it's released to schools as well. So that's really is important. A really good lesson is to make sure you use all the provided information you've given, and that will make sure you get the full marks. Hope that's been useful. Leave me a comment if there's anything you want me to go over again, or maybe I could have improved it by going through it in more detail.